Oh, I can't wait to see what this bullshit brings. I can't fucking wait. Oh, buffer. Can't fucking wait. I'm actually gonna take myself off of. Oh, you don't want to see that. One second, y'all. This music is intense. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, we got this huge ass announcement coming. I need to know what goes on. How you doing, Jordan? Nice. I'm sorry to hear that, Jordan. I can't wait to hear what these bitches got to say. There's people actually calling for a nerf for Ochito. Chat, no lore questions today. Boomer, what's up? Nice to see you, Boomer. What the fuck? Who? Did I just get trolled? I don't know who that was. I don't have my browser source on. Holy shit, hang on. I feel like a dick now. Let me go ahead and play that back. My bad, I am so sorry. There we go. It still didn't pop up, but okay. Oh wow, I am big moron. Hang on. One more time. Third time's a charm. Right? Right. There we go. Madman2170, thank you for joining the Hardy Party, hun. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Alright. Let's get shit poppin'. What the? You wait with bated breath. How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? Mm-hmm. Waiting for this shit show to start. Can't wait. My channel's basically turned into a Dead by Daylight channel. And it's been nothing but shit this last week. I cannot wait to hear what these fuckers gotta say. I'm a salty survivor and a killer, what can I say? After the dev stream, though, we are going to get back and play some more Dead by Daylight. I took a little break, I took a nap, I'm good to go. Hubbity boobity hoobity boobity hoo. Fuck yeah! I know, I love Dead by Daylight too, don't get me wrong. I freaking love Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight esports, I'm sure you'd be great. Alright, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna keep an eye on both the Twitch chat.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Thomas today.
Hello.
Where's Matthew?
So basically, you are all here for the big announcement, but before, patience.
No, not Queen,
Before
I'm sorry.
To actual in-game stuff. So we invited Thomas today to talk to us about the PTB, the emblem system, the second PTB we got.
Which is a bunch of bullshit in my opinion.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Floor is yours.
So yeah, we wanted to spend some time to talk
How's
about
the audio?
PTB,
Can you guys hear it?
we just did, and explain to you what are the things that we changed compared to the first one, why we wanted to do a second one, because we kind of lacked time to properly communicate some things to you, so we wanted to take the time to make it clear what we were looking for and why we did a second PTB actually, and of course
I love the comments. Thomas is French. Baguette.
From there. So we have a
What's up, Timothy?
Like you did.
That I did. First thing we're gonna talk about the first PTB very quickly, what we saw, what we changed for the second one, and why we wanted to make those changes. So first of all, what did we learn during the first PTB?
We're looking at Bjorn. Hey, we didn't even say hi to people. I'm so bad. I was just like, I'm so excited.
I'm cranking the audio just a bit.
All right. So when we did the first PTB, we showed we saw two things very clearly. The first one was that there were some important aspects of the game which are not properly taken into account, such as the X totems, such as the possibility to farm unhooks, such as the way we were evaluating how well you perform as a killer in chase. Those kind of things that were not necessarily accurate or show some results that were not the direction.
Freddy Krueger's already in the game, hun. He
so we wrote
was
some mechanical changes
2
to
DLCs
most
ago.
of the emblems. And we also
The
saw
last
important
DLC
imbalance
was
between the killers, which
Amanda,
made it way too easy to beat,
from
and the survivors, which I did way too hard.
Jigsaw's
So this is not what we want.
thing.
We are trying to have a similar kind of experience for everyone, no matter if you play a killer or a survivor. I will come back to it later. But we wanted to take the time to do a second PTB, address those mechanical and balance changes which were needed, and reassess the direction we were moving toward to make sure that we were making it right.
So are we going to talk about the topic that we are promoting looping with that new system? Okay,
so we're going to talk about that. That was actually one of the points which overshadowed a bit the other changes that we made because you were very vocal
Freddy Krueger
about it
was
for
2 DLCs
good
ago.
reasons. So I'm going to take some time to explain why we went into this direction.
Then it was
some things which are not necessarily properly
Jigsaw
communicated,
with
and what we are going
Detective
to do
Tap
from now
and
on
Amanda
to address
the
your
pig.
concerns. So as I said, most of the survivor emblems have been reworked, but the biggest change was for the way we evaluate what is considered a good chase for a survivor and a killer.
What do you consider a good
So let's
chase?
go to the next slide. So what are the objectives of this second PTB? We wanted to assess if the balance changes brought us closer to our objective. To state our objective clearly, we want survivors and killers to be closer in terms of how many pips they can win and lose, what's the effort required to get there, and ensure a good experience for everyone, and that players who are going to pip up will be matched with players of a more similar skill level. The other thing that we wanted to make sure of was that the new behavior of the survivors' emblems, which are the one we brought the most changes to, were encouraging the right dynamic. To state it clearly, the dynamic we're looking for is trying to expand the possibility for you to pick and what is considered a good
for
play.
me,
So no matter
I
if
would
you
love the
decide
devs to
play
step
really
up to the plate and admit that they
artistically, or if
fucked
you
up.
decide to focus solely on gen,
That they're
try to do a
driving
bit
this
of
game into
everything.
the ground
We
and they're
want
going
as
to
much
kill
as
it
possible
probably before
for the
the
killer and the survivor,
middle of the
allow
year
you
if they
to
keep going the
pick
way they're
through
going.
different means,
The way
and
they're
not
going.
just by killing or not just by doing gens.
A new killer
So
survivor
we
combo would be
realized
awesome
that
too.
we had some issues with the way Benevolent worked, for example, which was kind of frustrating. For example, you don't decide if someone gets hit or not. It's not in your control to decide if you want to go for a heal. So we removed this functionality entirely. So those are kind of changes that we brought to try to ensure that we were leaving as much space as possible for you to express yourself through your gameplay and like peep up the way you want, basically. And finally, we wanted to gather more qualitative and quantitative data to keep refining the emblems. We didn't want to just push it live after doing so many changes. We needed to assess what was and wasn't working.
So can you explain, like, are we going there, like, explain exactly the chase and the
Yes.
chaser and the
So I'm going to talk about it now.
invader? Yeah.
So here is what we did. We made it so as a survivor, it used to be that you are going to accumulate points during a chase, but you are only going to bank them if you actually win this chase. Win meaning you escape without getting a hit. That's not necessarily what we wanted, because the issue is that you could have a very good play and kite the killer for 45 seconds, then get a hit because of bloodlust, because it's just going to stick to you, and you get nothing. But you distracted the killer, you allowed your teammates to do a lot of other things, so we wanted to address that. So what we did was that every 15 seconds, to match with how much bloodlust tiers increase over time, you're going to secure those points. So it acts as a safety net, where if you lose your chase, you will go back to the last amount of points that you secure.
And we're saying points
Seriously?
towards the emblem, right?
Yes.
It's not. We're not talking blood points here.
Points towards the emblem.
Okay.
That's the only thing we're talking about. So this had kind of drawback that we did not necessarily foresee as an issue back then, but it happened to be, which is that it encourages you to make the chase last for as long as possible without regard to the risks you're taking. Because every 15 seconds you're going to secure those points. So you could just decide to make the chase extend for as long as possible and get as many points as you can without actually trying to escape the chase at some point. So I'm going to talk a bit later about what we're going to do to address that. On the killer side, one thing which was not properly communicated was that you don't lose points if a chase extends. You simply have a way more rewarding amount of points if you're able to close the chase quickly, but you're still going to get points as the chase goes on.
And closing the chase on the killer side is hitting once.
Exactly. You don't have to down the survivor. If you hit once, he gets into an injured state, you keep chasing him, you actually trigger the second chase.
So basically you're securing your points also.
Yes.
On the killer side.
Each time you hit.
If I start a chase with someone and I let them go for example, without hitting them, that means I'm not getting rewarded for any chase, right?
No, so the survivor is going to bank the points for escaping, but your chase is simply, we are looking into it, but it seems that the chase is simply transferred to the next person, which means that you already had the chase going on.
And if I hit one, he leaves, so that's closing a chase really quickly.
Yes.
So that's a lot of points for me. And then I switch to the other one and I chase this person and I hit them. That means I have two chases.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Each time you hit, you close the chase and you're going to start.
Okay, and if the second chase, for example, takes like 60 seconds to get there, I still get my points. I just get them a lot less faster. Like a lot less.
Yeah, you're going to get comparatively less points. If you're able to close 4 chases in 15 seconds each, you get more points than if you're able to close 1 chase in 60 seconds. Because you're more efficient as a killer, basically.
Okay.
But in both cases, you still get points.
Okay.
So I'm going to go quickly through our findings and how we are going to move on from there. So the first things that we saw in the next slide is that survivors are in a way better place than they used to be. So what you can see here on the left are the points per player per match for the survivor. When I say points, I'm talking about the points which are going to give you a pip in the end, so you can have between 0 and 60, each emblem giving you up to 4 points for an iridescent quality. So what we see here is the kind of shape we are looking for. So it's a bell curve, what we call normal distribution. So most of the players are concentrated in the middle and we have very few players on the extreme. That's the kind of thing we are looking for. So
that was the second PTB curve.
Everything from there is the second PTB.
So that means also most survivors won't pip or will barely pip, right?
So that means that so the 8 is the first pip. So yes,
we have. Okay, it's safe. The 8 is the safe pip.
Safety pip is at 5. Okay. And then 8 is the first pip.
Okay.
So the amount of players who actually don't pip is around like 20-25% of the time. And then the safety pip represents a large portion. And from the first pip, it starts to decrease. Yep. So we're not exactly there because we still want to have a bit more players able to reach double pip. It's pretty low at the moment. But this is going in the right direction and it's going to require a few adjustments, but nothing drastic. On the right, you have a breakdown per emblem. So how many times do you get each quality of emblem?
My bad.
As a disclaimer, we have an issue with Unbroken, so the stats are not completely accurate. We're working on that. But the 3 others are actually working properly.
GG.
So we want to bring some changes to Benevolent and Lightbringer, just purely in terms of balancing, making them a bit easier to reach. We're also investigating a possible bug in Lightbringer because 3 generators that you made completely on your own are enough for iridescent. And that's not necessarily what we saw.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
So we are investigating into that.
Investigate what
same
the
with
hell
Benevolent,
happened
which
the other
is
night.
kind of hard to reach the highest quality iridescent. We'll talk a bit later about changes that we want to bring to it. And Evader is in a place that we like. We're gonna bring one change to Evader that I will talk a bit after. But mostly survivors are in a good place at the moment and are going to require few changes, but nothing too drastic. Killers, on the other end, are in a bit more problematic situation where we have an inflation of
No.
killers able to double peep. We know why. We have a plan to fix it. I'm going to go into a bit more details right after. But basically what's happening is that the amount of players able to get iridescent into something with a killer is disproportionate. It's way too high. And that also gives the false impression that iridescent is the norm, while it really isn't. Getting iridescent in something is an amazing play. You're not supposed to get that all the time at all. So there is an inflation of points on the killer side. It used to be there. It's still here, as you can see. Less so than in the first PTB though. But we're going to bring...
That's less so than the first one?
It is.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
But because we already made the requirements a bit harsher for killer. One thing to keep in mind, it doesn't impact much our data, but because we are in a PTB and these are dedicated players actually going there, our sample of killers is small and likely composed of players who know how to play, so that might have an impact. We don't know by how much, so we are working with those data anyway, but it might have an impact. But still, this is way too high, so we're gonna make bigger changes in the balancing of those emblems to make the requirements harsher to reach. So to go into a bit more depth on why this is happening, there are several things to take into consideration. The first one is that there are a lot of overlap in the killer's emblems, meaning that if you perform well as a killer, chances are you are making progress toward all your emblems at the same time, because you are actually triggering chases, hitting people, hooking them, potentially killing them as well. So all those emblems work hand in hand, where the survivor's emblem are a bit more specific area of play that you don't necessarily complete at the same time. So we are aware of that. It was part of the design for the killers. We wanted to have those overlaps, but right now they are a bit too strong. So which brings me to my second point. They progress mostly at the same rate. If you have an iridescent devout, for example, chances are that you are close from an iridescent malicious as well. Because of the way they are balanced, you progress mostly at the same rate in each of them. So that's another thing we want to look at. We want to create imbalances in the way they are, the requirements are met. So even though you perform extremely well in one of them, for example, you perform extremely well and kill everyone, we get an iridescent devout. That doesn't necessarily
I got a
mean that you're
question.
gonna
Is
get good
gold and
malicious if
none
you
supposed to be
don't
the same
hit and
color?
hook a lot.
So look, gold.
So we are
None.
working on that to make some changes to the balancing. One thing that you can see below is that, so what it shows is if your emblem is of highest quality of gold or iridescent or whatever, what are the proportion of each other quality you have at the end of the match. So as you can see for killers, there is a clear imbalance where you are way more likely to have a higher quality at the end of your match. For example, for iridescent, 20% of the time you're gonna have another iridescent, while it's about 5% for survivors. So again, they work hand in hand a bit too much, and we're going to look into that to rebalance them and make this dynamic less obvious.
So as a player standpoint, is there going to be a third PTB for the emblems?
No, there isn't going to be a third PTB because we are not making drastic mechanical changes which require additional testing.
Going to be adjustments.
We're going to make adjustments mostly on the balancing. We're going to release them so everyone can actually play them, gather more data. But I will come back on it later. This is only the first step. We are not going to leave them here and say this is done. We don't touch them. We are going to keep monitoring them on a regular basis and bring changes over time. So that's it. I wanted to talk a bit more about the things that we learn more on a qualitative aspect.
Shut up.
A few things that I saw regularly online which were not necessarily clearly communicated or explained. Evader stealth points are purely based on distance, not on terror radius. So it doesn't matter if you're playing against the pig or against Myers, you will get the same stealth points for everyone. That's an important thing to know. Evader stealth points have not been nerfed drastically. The only thing that we did, we rebalanced them a bit, but the biggest change that we brought is that if a killer is already in a chase and you are not the target of this chase, you will win way less points, way less stealth points, just because the attention of the killer is distracted. He's not going to look at you. So
Nothing yet. They're
yes,
he's just this baguette guy is just talking about the PTB.
Again, you do not
the current
lose
PTB.
points in Chaser. You simply win less of them as time goes on. And something that I saw regularly and I want to clear out is that we are not on purpose making it easier to peep for killers than survivors. It just happens that they are designed differently and they are fulfilling different goals in terms of how they're supposed to be played. So killers require a bit more work to be accurate and in the place we want it to be. But our objective is to reach a bell curve for everyone. We're not trying to make killers peep easier. So, a few things that we are looking into. We want to make it so Evader will only grant half of the points if you do not escape the chase as a survivor. The idea behind that is, yes, you have your safety net, you won't win nothing if you lose the chase, but we still want you to escape at some point. So we want to reward risk-taking, but we also want to reward, as a survivor, knowing when enough is enough and when you should try to just escape. Chaser will be readjusted based on the average length of a chase to make the curve of points a bit less steep and be a bit more gentle for the amount of points you win over time. And finally, something that we're talking a lot about is specific killers, such as the nurse, for example, able to close chases really fast, might create imbalance in the emblem system. So we are aware of that. We are going to work to have, on a per killer basis, the average emblems you're gonna get, and assess if it is an issue or not. At the moment, we don't know, but that's definitely something we are looking into.
All right.
So in short, survivors are in a way better place than they used to be. We are going to keep making
sweetheart,
adjustments. Killers are still too easy and are going to be readjusted, mostly through balancing.
Really?
We want to reach a similar experience for both roles. Killers shouldn't have it easier or harder than survivors. Chaser and Evader will be reworked to make it more of a choice to want to keep the chase going or not, and make it less viable to just pallet loop forever. And again, this is an ongoing process and nothing is set in stone, so we're going to keep monitoring and bringing changes to the emblems in the future. So thanks a lot for all of you who participated in the PTB or gave us your feedbacks. That's really useful, and we're getting there.
All right. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
So, are we ready for it? He's like, I don't know. Thank you. So we're gonna switch up.
You're green.
Do you want to sit here?
I'm going to sit
Perfect.
Thomas's place.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thanks.
Oh, Debbie?
Bucket, hold on to your butts.
Oh,
That's
impressive.
That's a good.
Hello, Bucket.
So who's that man?
We've you might have met. We might have met before. I think we met. It's been a long time since I've been here. As you might have seen in the intro of the video, I'm the producer on Dead by Daylight.
They didn't.
Somebody posted a thread on Reddit about me being a producer on Dead by Daylight, so it was mentioned somewhere.
Yes,
in the
it was
summary,
mentioned
maybe,
in the plan of the Twitch stream.
Okay, so it's there. It's there. Yeah, so I've been on the project for more than 2 years now. So since we've actually released the game, I'm here basically in replacement of Matt or Dave. Let's say they're at GDC this week having a great time. Dave is actually giving a talk at GDC about Dead by Daylight and where we're at right now and everything we've been through over the past couple of years. So it's pretty exciting for us and for him to be here.
So do you want to just say a word about like everything that's been out and on social media?
You probably have read about this at this point. It's been officially announced that Behavior is buying the publishing rights to Dead by Daylight from Starbreeze. So as of now, we're in the process of finalizing the details. But Behavior is going to be fully in control of Dead by Daylight, and it's a very exciting thing for us. Really, it's going to be. We're all eager to see how the future is going to pan out, but it really is going to be a change of pace for us. I want to make sure you take a time to thank everyone over at Starbreeze who's worked with us. They've been super helpful on many fronts. A lot of the different aspects in the publishing and marketing. They were present to guide us through the process. We've learned some things together. And it's really been a blast to work with them throughout the 1.5 to 2 years that we've been live now. This is going to open up some doors for us in the future. We're really eager to see what's coming up. And one thing we want to do is to be a lot more communicative with the community in terms of what's upcoming, what we're working on right now, what's our timelines, what we expect to be working on for the foreseeable future, and all that stuff.
So, was that the big announcement, Steph?
Sure as
I
fuck
don't
hope
think
not.
it was. Not really. No, it comes time with, like I said, we want to be a lot more open to the community than we've been in the past, and we want to make sure you guys are feeling involved, not necessarily in the design process, but you know where the project is going, and you can feel like Dead by Daylight is a place you like to be, and you want to stay with us. And the project is going to keep evolving, and we're really putting a lot of love and efforts into making this the best game we can make it. So we have prepared a pretty cool video, I think, to lead us to our 2nd year anniversary that's going to happen in a couple of...
Yeah, before we start the video, I just want to say we're going to have more information coming out on social media and on our website right after the stream, so...
You're mysterious.
I'm mysterious.
It's cool too.
say
There's a lot of good stuff in there. So we'll start with the video. I don't know if you have anything to add. Otherwise, we'll probably end the
with
stream
this, yes.
on the video directly.
Absolutely.
So
What? Are you
A
kidding me?
video about? Just watch it.
Hello, good people of the fog.
Ah, fuck you, dude.
I'm here because in June we're going to be celebrating our 2nd year anniversary, and we are very excited about that. So the game has changed a lot since launch. We've added about 7 chapters so far. We've added a bunch of new languages, new features, stuff that you've asked, stuff that you didn't know you wanted, and there's a lot more coming, so we want to make sure to give you a little heads up and give you our commitment for the next year.
First of all, we think it's really important that we share our high-level plan and vision for the next 12 months. A chapter will be released every 3 months for a total of 4 chapters in the same format as before, so 1 killer, 1 survivor, and 1 map. Like before, the maps are going to be free and available to everyone, but we're also making a huge change to how you'll be able to unlock killers and survivors. As you know, these guys change the meta, they really add new fantasy, and it's important to the game. So the killer and the survivor will be available with playtime.
Really?
This is true for all of our original character, past and future. For the licensed character, we want to be completely transparent. It's going to be a case by case. We'll let you know as soon as we can. We'll also start selling outfits. It's something that a lot of you have been asking us for a long time. This will help us sustain the game and our ambition for the game for a long time. I'm super excited, and the art team is super proud to be able to show you a sneak peek today of these outfits. As we promised, all of these items are purely cosmetic and optional. We also want to make sure that there is something for everyone. So either you're casual or hardcore in the game, you'll be able to unlock the majority of these cosmetics with playtime. We're also doing a complete revamp of our progression ladder. We want to be as inclusive as possible and allow all players to be able to have a significant progress into it. Also for seasoned players, we are adding a leaderboard for the top ranks, so you'll need to fight every day to stay on there. First step towards this new progression ladder is the emblem system, and we wanted to take a minute just to thank you for your participation in the PTB and making this a solid system. Next step, the ranking itself, will come in the next couple of months.
As you all know, being a new player in Dead by Daylight can be a little bit difficult. This is why we decided to improve our onboarding system with a whole new tutorial section to the game. Our goal is to make Dead by Daylight a welcoming place for all players.
As time passed by, there's a lot of challenges we've had to put ourselves up against, some of which we've already been able to put behind us, and some of which are still in front of us right now. The loss of progress issue is something we take very seriously here, and we have taken a lot of steps in the recent months to actually improve on the issues. We're hoping that in a few weeks from now we'll be able to reach resolution and everyone will feel safe about their safe games in the community. Another item that's high priority for us right now is to focus on our anti-cheat measures and making sure the game is as secure as we can make it.
Something we're really excited about is the addition of a systematic mid-chapter patch. The idea is to allocate enough time for balancing, bug fixing, quality of life improvement, and general polishing of the game.
And now, something that gets me very excited is the fact that we want to move towards a release process that will include the public tests a lot more directly in the pipeline. We're hoping this will allow us to push a much better version of the game to the public and that will catch more pressing or urgent issues before we actually push these versions out.
So we launched the game about 2 years ago with a team around 35 people. Since then, we've grown to about 75 now. We also have about 20 mods, amazing people that have been helping us from around the world. We have translators in a lot of different countries, broadcasters from everywhere who've kept their commitment and their enjoyment of the game. And obviously, I can't forget the millions of players who are with us every day. In June this year, we are going to be celebrating our 2-year anniversary. For us, it's a big milestone. We want to make sure that you understand just how committed we are, that this is just the beginning for us.
Look at that family picture. Is that it? Hello? Hello? That's it. That's the end of the stream, apparently. That's all, folks? Really? Really? That's it? Are you fucking kidding me? No, I'm not happy at all. That was their announcement? That was the announcement? Are you... What? Bruh. That... I have such a hard time believing that that was the announcement. So apparently we're getting killer cosmetics, and that's it. It seems like PTB will, the emblem system will be like updated in a few months. The fuck is that? The fuck was that? Seriously. That literally makes no sense. They put up all this hype for this big old announcement. And it's literally just, oh, you can unlock the unlock the DLC by playing as the character, or like by gameplay and all that. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. ridiculous. That really is some bullshit right there. Good morning, Wally. How you doing? That's some straight bulldukery. If that really was the announcement, Mama ain't happy. The fuck was that? Honestly, that pretty good job so far. Honestly. Come the fuck on. Like, bruh. And bruh. They're literally just digging this game further and further into the ground. So apparently, new cosmetics for killers are coming. The nurse, the hag, and the doctor. There was no announcement about a new killer, a new survivor. I don't think that there's Cold Whip or double BP going on. There was no killer announcement. They said there's stuff coming out on their Twitter and social media, but I haven't seen anything so far. Check out the details on the future of Dead by Daylight. Oh, okay. 500 internal server error. GG. G fucking G, boys. Okay. Alright, so I'll give you guys a basic thing. Oh, hang on. Yoink. There we are. Okay. Over the course of year 3, which starts in June, 4 new chapters. That means 4 new killers, 4 new survivors, 4 new maps. And that's a seasonal thing. Starting from our new chapter, to be released in June, all non-licensed survivors and killers past and future will be unlockable through playtime. In other words, players will have the choice between playing their way into the new content or, as before, buying them outright through a DLC chapter. Same time, we'll be allowing you to unlock characters for free. We'll start selling cosmetics for them, something that a lot of you have been asking for a long time. Sustain ambitions. Skins will be purely aesthetic, 100% optional. Survivors and killers deserve to look awesome when they're running around trials, and we want you to be able to personalize them and show your true colors. Alright, so I am going to Haboop display capture. So I'm going to bring this over here. So these are the preview. This is the preview. A new outfit for Sally, new outfit for Herman, and apparently the hag is turning into like poison ivy. So yeah. Ranking system is going to be revamped. They're going to be fixing the game loss. They're going to be moving from deploying all content at the same time on every platform to trying new features and content on the PC first. Whoop whoop. Using our public test build, push it to all platforms as soon as it's ready, then as soon as we can, ensure everything makes it into the game. The course of a 3-month chapter will be releasing a mid-chapter update. They're going to reinforce the anti-cheat system. They're going to be building a tutorial for the first-time players. In-game toxicity. Make sure Dead by Daylight is a safe and positive place to be. Evaluating several options, and we'll be sharing updates with you as soon as we feel we have found a solution that fits our players' needs. So, in summary, 4 new survivors, 4 new killers, 4 new maps, new progression system, new paid cosmetic items, new ranking system, new deployment process, anti-cheat reinforcement, tutorial mode, better tools to handle toxicity, and dedicated mid-chapter patches to make sure the content is as clean as possible, to look at some of the balancing elements, but also to add the quality of life improvements and polish when needed. Alright then. Alright, so I'm not as upset-ish. I'm not really upset, I'm just annoyed. Like, that was such a lame update. Yeah, tutorial is good. In some cases, I guess. But is that it for you, Dead by Daylight? Is that it? I'm like annoyed, but I'm also not annoyed at the same time. I don't know what to think. It's... I guess it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So we're gonna take a little break. I'm gonna go potty and we shall be back to play some Dead by Daylight. Because we got to rank 8 earlier and we're gonna keep on keeping on. Yeah, so be right back. Yeah. Some fucking announcement, huh? Mama ain't happy, but hey, what can you fucking do about it? Hmm? Oh, what's up, dude? I am live again. I live streamed the DEVS stream. Bullshit. Probably only gonna play 1 or 2 games. Pretty good job. Alright, so that tears it for this stream. I'm gonna go take a nap. And, see you guys later. Bye, y'all.